gonna say Jose is fashionably late. He'll be back in a minute.
He'll make an entry.
Yep. Right here. Here we are. Just gonna let a couple of people populate. One sec. Yeah, I got a stiff neck today, man. I woke up with the only stiff neck. Crazy. All right, one sec.
How late were you guys? I mean, before you shut the whole thing down on Saturday, how late was it for you?
So, as soon as the show was over, I told the owner, I was like, listen, I want to go party. I don't want to wrap up. I don't want to pack my stuff. Normally I'll spend like an hour folding up my banners and putting everything away, putting in my car. This time I was like, nope, I'm going to go celebrate. I needed it. I put a lot of work into this one. Sure. And so I dipped out of there. Stereo Garden probably like around 12:15ish. Went to the VIP room, which is the after party. Stayed there till like 2:30, and we were out late.
Had a night. So, question for you. I mean, I know that this is a show about the fighters and the coaches and kind of celebrating them, and in some cases the foundation of a professional career. But like, we got to give props to the man who gave him that stage and that platform, right? Like, first of all, we got to give you a little round of applause for making that happen. From start to finish, Christian, how long does it take you to put something like that together?
I would say a good solid 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, 3 months of preparation and just, there's a lot of production that goes into it with my boy Billy, Studio 15. So we're like planning the, before the lights episodes, filming them, editing them, marketing them. Then goes into like the design of the posters. I go through a couple of designers and I pick one, and then we create the template, and then I'm designing that. As we match up fights, I'm designing the posters, and just a lot of phone calls. 32 fighters is a lot to make sure that they're on weight and so forth. Yep. So like 3 months of paying attention to detail, making sure everybody's on the same page, and keeping the hype going with everybody. And that's it. About good 3 months.
So, last question, I promise, but I'm just curious how all of this kind of happens. Aside from the obvious stuff, like making sure the fighters are there and on weight and all of their paperwork and everything is taken care of. I mean, what are the sort of the behind the scenes things that you're taking care of that give you the most anxiety that none of us ever see?
Well, I mean, matchmaking gives me anxiety because
yeah, I'm sure.
I want the best fights. And in order to get the best fights, I got to reach out to the guys and kind of like say, hey, like this guy's available and you're available. I know you guys are the best in the division. Are you willing to step on this stage and, put it all on the line? And, I'm lucky that these guys are willing to put it on the line. They don't have to, So making the matchups, making sure they're, high level. It's nerve wracking, but it's getting easier because I feel like the fighters are starting to say, you know what? This is what it's about. We belong. This is the stage that we're going to do it on. So let's do it. Other than that, nerve wracking is, ticket sales. It costs a lot to throw them. So making sure pre-sales are good and watching the pre-sales and looking at the data. Sponsors. We didn't get any of this event. Kind of all the sponsors everybody saw for this event were me just giving my friends love, putting their name on the event because I didn't have time to really get any. But this event, there's a new approach. So we're going to really tackle the sponsorship aspect of the event. And we'll have some good ones for the next one. What else gives me anxiety? I don't know. Just putting things out there. Marketing gives me anxiety. Like, oh shit, I got to get this out early. I got to tag everybody and, making sure that it's really getting pushed. That's it.
It's a level of vulnerability, man. Like this is your passion. This is your baby, right? Like this is your art project that you're putting together, and you want people to be receptive and appreciate, not just the outcome, but like everything that went into it. I get that completely. It's not just unique to fight production. I mean, there's like everything in life. When you put a lot of effort into something, you want it to be loved, right? And
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, at the end of the day, man, that was a fucking great performance. That every single fight, every matchup worked out terrific. It was very well done.
Thank you. And I appreciate you jumping on the commentary for the first time. And
yeah,
just to everybody know, this is Max Pedrino. Did I say it right?
Padrid.
Max Padrid. I apologize. We kind of met for the first time, everybody. We met for the first time at the event. Jose brought him on. He spoke highly about him. I said, let's do it. And he did a phenomenal job. I sat in on the commentary for a little bit with them, and Max did an awesome job. So I'm grateful for you being a part of the event, man. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. The fighters made it easy.
Yeah, man. And Jose's supposed to be on the check-in with us, everybody, but I think he's getting his pajamas on. He's getting cozy for the live stream. He'll be on soon. But tonight's live stream is basically our fight recap from last Saturday's epic, amazing event that we had, Strong on the Fight Night Series 4, the 6-borough championships. And we're going to talk about, a couple of the fights. We can't go through all of them, but we're going to go through some of them. And we're also going to announce the fight of the night, fighter of the night, ring walk of the night, and the most improved from our previous events. A fighter that's been on events in previous fights that has developed growth and has displayed that on this event. So Max, being that Jose's not here, we're going to have to jump right into it, and he'll jump in when he jumps in.
Let's do it, man. I'm ready. I've been looking forward to this all week.
Awesome, bro. So the first 5 fights, those were non-title fights. Those were, our warm-up for the crowd fights, and they were all, equally matched up bouts that we had to put on the card to, get the crowd into it. But we had one particular fight out of those first 5 fights, which was an elite level junior boxing match at 110, but it was a catch weight because Jaden Villegas usually at 114 and Damian Romero is usually at 106. So they kind of met in the middle at 110. And, both of these kids put it on. They did a great job. But Max, you watched it. What's your assessment of that fight? Let everybody know how you felt about that one.
For sure. And first of all, fights 1 through 4 with the young men were exceptional. You never really know what you're going to get at that age. And one of the first things I asked Coach Joe Higgins when we were talking about this was how important are these fights to the foundation of these fighters as they grow into themselves and some move from amateurs up into the pros. And he said, these are the fights that make or break careers from a young age. It's where they have the opportunity to learn the most. So I want to give a shout out to all of these young guys from different weight classes showing up and learning. These aren't even about wins and losses at this point. It's about showing up, and it's about takeaways from each fight. But to your question,
yes,
Damian Romero, Jaden Villegas was awesome, and Damian Romero was just spectacular. That kid is fighting 10 years above his age group right now, and I am very, very excited to see what he brings over the next couple of years, and I hope I get to call his fights again.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jaden Villegas, tough kid, man. Tough kid. I believe Damian's been around, I think, a little bit longer.
Yep.
He has some national experience as well, and it showed. But Damian's a tough kid. I mean, Jaden's a tough kid. He's going to be back. Yeah. He's going to bounce back. And Damian has a bright future ahead of him. So great fight. Had the crowd on their feet. And then, we're going to get into, Javier Velasquez. The first SBC title fight on the card was Javier Velasquez versus Angel Perez, the 147 Elite SBC Championship. It was a vacant title. And as a matter of fact, Angel Perez took the fight a week's notice. But to let everybody know, Angel Perez is a former Ringmasters champion. So he was up next. If something happened, he was the guy up next to deserve this opportunity to fight for the SBC title, and he took it. He didn't know he was up next, but he took it in a week's notice, and he ended up beating Javier, who trained super hard for this. He came to fight now. Now, Max, you watched the fight. Can you give me a little bit of insight on how that went? Or do you remember?
Of course.
Okay.
Tough competition.
Right.
Angel looked like he had a little bit more experience, which I think played out in this fight, but they were both in great shape and they were both very well coached.
Yes.
It's just a good matchup, just a good fight. Angel got the best of him. I'd like to see him again.
Absolutely. He'll be back June 15th. We already discussed him defending his SBC title.
Sure.
I'm there. And that's what I want. I want these guys to hold that belt with pride and know that they got to defend it against whoever we put in front of them with no questions. And they, that's what's going to make you solidify you, their real true SBC champion, by taking on any competitors.
No doubt.
With that belt.
No doubt.
So far, so good. Everybody's taking it serious, and it's only getting better and it's growing. So then we had a spectacular fight between a former SBC champion and David Reyes, one of the top fighters in New York in the 125 division. out of Champs Boxing Club against Mikey Algieri out of Huntington, Long Island, who had his first elite class fight, 3-minute rounds. And Max, let them know your assessment on this fight.
This one was exciting because I got to listen to these two talk in the pre-fight discussions. I guess we'll put it that way. No beef, but no love lost between the two of them. I think David wanted to set the tone verbally, like, hey, you're moving up to the elite class now. You know, you had a good run at the novice, but like let's see what you really got now that you're playing with the big boys.
No doubt.
Mikey Algieri brought that.
Yeah.
David was tough as hell, but you could see Mikey had a guy in his corner that had some real good things to say to him, Chris Algieri. And Mikey was very impressive. He was in control of the ring. He could go backwards. He could go forwards. He could stand still. He was real quick on the jab. He was an exciting fighter for a kid his age. Great matchup. Mikey got the best of David, and I'm looking forward to see what Mikey brings over the next couple of shows for sure.
Absolutely. Mikey is the new 125 SBC champion.
Well deserved.
And we already talked to. He's ready to rumble June 15th. So he'll be back. Can't wait to see who we match him up with. Just so everybody knows, a lot of the way we select our fighters is through the USA Boxing Metro tournaments. If you win the tournament, you clearly have an opportunity for the SBC title. If you lost in the finals, but you might have won, you have an opportunity. If you were in the tournament and you displayed some excellent boxing, but might not have won the fight or had a bad decision, we got our eyes on you too. So through the tournaments, this is how we select our fighters. We want the best. We want the cream of the crop. So if you're doing well in these tournaments, just know that we're looking, we're watching, and we want to put you on this stage because you deserve it. So that's what I look forward to, and seeing who we're going to match up in June 15th, see who we put on there.
Sure. We'll watch him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we talk about the ladies for a second?
Yeah, wait, real quick. So just so everybody knows too, if you didn't register for the Ringmasters yet, make sure you register for the Ringmasters. This Saturday is your last opportunity. Don't miss out. It's an amazing tournament. You're going to qualify to go to the nationals from this tournament. Go. Give yourself a chance. Don't second guess your talent.
Sign up.
If you're in the gym working, go sign up for the Ringmasters. There's a novice division, open division. However your experiences is, they'll put you in that division. You got a shot at greatness. So Ringmasters, last day to register is this Saturday. Moving on. Yes, the ladies. Now, I was able to sit down for a little bit more of this fight, and it was nonstop action. These girls brought it. They had that pride. They were like, I'm not losing. And Max, you know better. You called it. So how do you see it?
And we had a good guest spot in the booth with the famous local legend Rebecca Goldberg, who shared her views, having shared the ring with both of these women. And Christian, my only beef from this whole event was that you didn't have more women on the card, because these two had the most exciting fight.
Trust me.
Arguably the most exciting fight of the night. These two did not stop throwing punches for 3 straight rounds.
And with style and grace.
With
it wasn't
style,
sloppy.
and it was awesome.
They look great doing it.
They did. And I know I'm supposed to be an unbiased, impartial third party, just offering commentary. And in no way is this biased because I'm a Mendez alum. But I thought Daniela got a little bit robbed on this one. I thought she had a little bit of an edge on this one.
It's okay. You can speak your mind. I mean, look, they both fought great. Kiara got the nod. She's a two-time defending SBC champion. She definitely fought her heart out. Daniela, like you said, you feel like she won, and a lot of people said a little bit of both. So, it could be maybe a rematch. Who knows? Might be a rematch for June 15th.
No disrespect to Kiara. I mean, she's the defending champ. You got to come and take that, right?
Yeah,
those coin flips aren't going the other way. So I respected both those fighters. They both look great.
Shout out to them though. They are runner-up for fight of the night. So we'll talk about the fight of the night in a little bit. But they were close second, and we have another one that was a close third. So, but let's move on from that. Great fight, ladies. We appreciate you. And Max, we will have more ladies on the next card. I'm making sure of it. We had Rebecca lined up. Her opponent pulled out. We couldn't find anybody for her. But we're gonna have this next event, at least 3 ladies bouts. If we could do 4, we're putting them on. So ladies, step up. Let's go. Get on the call. Give me the phone call. All right, let's go. Let's go to then from the 119 women's, we went to the big boys, 176 elite. We had coming back from our last event, fighting at 65, Sean Oberdie, a former ringmaster champion, and we had Adrian Fermetta, super talented kid from the Bronx, a lot of experience, and they put on a great show. And Max, you called it. How do you see it?
This was one I was looking forward to. This was sort of in my top 3 most anticipated. I was real curious to see how this played out. I've been in the ring with Sean on a bunch of occasions at Work Train Fight. I know how hard he works. I've seen him traveling the globe, taking fights with anybody. He got knocked out in his last Strong Island Fights show, and I was real curious to see emotionally and mentally how he responded to that. And candidly, I thought he looked really good.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Adrian Fermetta just outclassed him in this fight, and I want to see them do it again. I want to see what adjustments they both make. Yeah. But Adrian Fermetta was the better fighter. He just was a little bit more technically sound. His defense a little more responsible. He landed the better punches, and that was that.
Yeah, I seen. Sean was trying to hook off.
Always
he came on. He landed a couple of his working, but I think he stuck to that same plan a little too much. He didn't try to switch things up to change the outcome of the rounds.
Always with Shawnee O, you're going to get hit with at least 6 check hooks over the course of 3 rounds. It's coming. So it's how you adjust and how you can land that right hand. It usually makes the difference.
Right. But great fight from both guys. Entertaining. Another close matchup. Well matched up fight. So shout out to Adrian Fermetta, our new 176 SBC champion. He'll be back. He said it too. He'll be back June 15th. So also what we do is with these champions, we do photo shoots. So we're going to have great marketing leading up to June 15th, professional marketing, videos and all that. They're going to look like superstars because they are superstars. So June 15th, look for that. And then from Adrian Fermetta, we are going to say, so bout number 10 was supposed to be Kobe Williams defending his belt, but technical difficulties, he had to get disqualified. And due to that, Christopher Houston will be back against Kobe Williams June 15th. So we'll be able to talk about that then. So stay in the gym, boys. Hopefully you do great in the Ring Masters. But we'll see you June 15th. Sure. All right. Now, this was a crowd. This was what a lot of people were looking forward to this fight. The 165 Elite SBC champion, Israel Bailey, 2-time defending champion, SBC champion against Joe Kennedy, who took this fight 3 weeks prior because we had somebody back out of the fight. He wasn't ready. So we had Joe Kennedy step in. How do you feel about that fight, Max?
This was interesting, and I got to give a big shout out to Izzy's coach Ness for making some necessary adjustments, because when they first came out, Joe's real long, and he uses it. He got that real long jab, and he was kind of keeping Izzy at the appropriate distance, and I thought he was going to be able to control the fight for 3 rounds. But at that second round and on, you could see Izzy really make the adjustments and really figure out ways to get close, get inside.
Yeah.
And honestly, he kind of dominated the rest of the fight. The first round was close. I thought Joe did a real nice job with his game plan. But the second and third, I thought were actually not that contested. I thought Izzy made really nice adjustments and just won that pretty easily.
Yeah, from what I saw, Izzy seemed super relaxed and just poised. He was picking his moments. He was moving around left and right. He wasn't staying in the same spot.
Yep.
And that's what I thought. He had more control, ring generalship. Landed. He would attack more too. He was attacking with explosive combos, and not often, but frequent enough to win the rounds. Whereas Joe, I felt like Joe should have put his pedal to the metal a little bit more to make it a little bit more, maybe if it was going to go his way, convincing. So,
and maybe I'm totally way off on this, Christian, but Izzy's been fighting for 2 years.
About that, yeah, about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's a quick learner. He's a hard worker. He's one of the hardest workers I know. He's always running. He's always in the gym, and he's true to what he's doing right now. So he has a vision for himself, and look, he's coming true. He's fought on 3 of my cards. Has 3 victories. He's a 2-time defending SBC champion. He fought in the Ring Masters finals against Sean last year, close decision. So he's doing his thing for such a short period of time, and I'm grateful to have him a part of the SBC championships.
There's another gentleman on that card who we'll get to in a minute, who I'd be really interested in seeing match up with Izzy Bailey in June, but we'll get to that later.
Okay. Well, let's shout out to Izzy. Right now, he's
sure.
We're not sure if he's going to be back June 15th. I really hope he is. So we're going to communicate on that. Next fight. Okay, this next fight was for the 203 super heavyweight SBC vacant title. and it's for one of the guys who was on my card. He won 3 times already. He was on my first one, second one, third one as a novice fighter. Xavier Wilcher out of heavy hitters. And he won all 3 of his fights, and he's a crowd-pleasing fighter. He's got power, he's got speed, and he's developing his skills on this stage. Like, he's growing each time. But he fought a seasoned vet in James Yarborough, who was in the Ringmasters finals last year. A big dude, 6'5",
Big
like
dude.
300 pounds, monster who could punch. And you saw it, Max. So give me your assessment. Let everybody
Did
know.
you watch this one closely, or were you running around?
I was kind of watching this one.
Yeah, this one was wild, man.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like it. I think James Yarborough, who, by the way, no disrespect, this dude could fight. I mean, when he started the first round, he was throwing some leather.
No doubt.
And it was smooth, and it was charismatic, and it was sophisticated, and he was moving. And I was really impressed that a guy that size, especially a lefty, could fight that way.
Straight.
But there was about a 3-minute period. Remember, this is a 9-minute fight where he didn't even have his hands up, and he was just putting his head out like this, just taking shots.
Yeah, he's like, you don't
talking shit the whole time.
You ain't hurting me. I was like, oh, pick your hands up.
I know. And Xavier was just letting them fly. It was wild. This was a lot of fun. This fight stood out to me for all the wrong reasons, but it was a joy to watch.
Oh, yeah.
They were very entertaining. Xavier got the W. Bright future ahead for both of them. Xavier's got 3-4 fights now.
I think his ex is like 6-0 right now.
We got to keep him busy. He's got something there.
He'll be back June 15th too, and he doesn't care. He'll fight. He said, Chris, I'll fight anybody. I'll fight the open class Ringmasters champion, whoever wants it. So I'm like, that's what's gonna happen then, you know. So June 15th, X is back versus whoever wins the Ringmasters at the super heavyweight division. So whoever's listening, if you're listening, fighting in the Ringmasters, take that.
Watch
time.
Out.
I do want to say this. I want to say this about James though. I feel like James short changes his talent. Like, he plays around too much. I feel like if James took it serious and just stayed focused on doing what he had to do instead of playing around on the ropes, it could have been a different fight. I feel like because of his power, because of his skill, if he took it, I feel like if he took it a little bit more serious in the ring, it could have been closer. So that being said, hopefully, James, you hearing this, you know, your potential, don't shortchange it, man. Take it serious every second of those rounds. But he's a showman. He's a showman. He likes to put on a show. So I get that point of it too. I get that part of it. All right. So from there, I'm going to announce it right now. Fight of the night. Fight of the night goes to Melvin Martinez, former 156 SBC champion. He relinquished his belt, and he moved up to fight for the 165 interstate. The first time the interstate title versus one of the best in the country in Jean-Pierre Valencia out of New Jersey, way of Spain and Ecuador. Great matchup, a lot of anticipation, 2 power punches. Valencia coming off of a couple of knockout victories. Melvin stepping up to the challenge, and as well as Jean-Pierre, this was an amazing fight. Fight of the night, and also announcing fighter of the night, Melvin Martinez. Congratulations. Max, what was your assessment on this one?
My assessment was I watched Joe Higgins watch this fight.
Yeah.
Like, I was glued to these guys until I started hearing what Joe Higgins had to say. And then I just turned and looked and watched him and watched his admiration. First of all, these two are both excellent.
Yeah.
These two both have very bright futures and did almost everything right, which is crazy for 2 amateurs.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Melvin Martinez, one of the best amateurs I've seen live in a long time.
Yeah.
And he has this unbelievable ability to stay put while also not getting hit. Every punch he throws is with intent, and it's strong and it's grounded, but he doesn't just stay flat-footed and then take shots in order to give them. He is very, very tough to hit, and that's very unusual for someone who's not really moving that much. I was blown away by this kid. I was feeling some of those body punches he was landing from 50 feet away. And the praise and the admiration that Joe Higgins was laying on this kid from the sidelines, you don't see that very often. So both of you, outstanding job. I think Jean-Pierre beats almost everybody else on this card except the Mack truck that he ran into in Melvin Martinez, and I would love to watch them both fight again.
Yeah, man, that was a great fight. I got to watch this one, and um, I was like, damn, this kid's a power puncher. Like Jean Pierre hurts people. Like he's got that
Right.
serious power. I'm like, I wonder if Melvin, like, if he gets hit, if he's gonna, well, how's he gonna adjust? How's he gonna take it? And let me tell you, he wasn't there to get hit. He was making Jean Pierre miss. He was sidestepping Jean Pierre, and Jean Pierre was throwing over here, and he was already over here. So I was like, wow, this kid really did uh, step up and train for this fighter to make sure that he didn't get hit by him. So great training by Coach Danny, Ryan, everybody at Champ, pushing Melvin to be the best, and he looked fantastic this fight. And shout out to Jean Pierre for coming out to Long Island, not his hometown, and putting it on the line. It was great fight.
I agree, and I hope Jean Pierre takes something away from this fight, because you're not going to run into too many guys better than Melvin. And if you could take one or two things away from this and learn from it, you're going to get a whole lot better than just beating up on dudes you better than.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the guys are in the check-in right now. So shout out to Mikey, shout out to Jean Pierre, shout out to all the guys checking, Javier, shout out to my boy Derek, shout out to Tam, shouting everybody out, Maestros, Gaetano, Xavier. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch the show. Shout out to Mikey. Mikey Algieri's close second fighter of the night. Just want to announce that as well. Close second, Melvin, then Mikey, fighter of the night. Fights of the night were fight of the night was Melvin and Jean Pierre, and close second was Almonte and Arellano. Third would be, I would say, it was very close between Chaparro and Pedro. I can't think of his last name right now. Sorry, Pedro. But that fight as well, close third.
Collado.
What is it? Collado. That's right, Collado. Sorry.
Collado.
A lot of names to run through right now. But that was a great fight as well. And we're gonna get to that one actually. We're gonna get to the let's get to that one now. That was the next SBC title fight, 156 Elite SBC Championship.
Before we hit that one, Christian, let's hit Cassesi and Brian Vera, because our very own Jose Guzman was in the corner of that one, so we got to touch on that one real quick.
Absolutely. Let's go real quick. First and foremost, shout out to Brian. He sold out the front row. He sold out the stage seats. Like, he came with a crowd, and they represented. They were cheering for him. A great crowd, and shout out to Brian for taking this serious as well. Put on a good performance, and Max is going to give the assessment.
Sticking with the theme of the night, very well matched up. Two guys that worked very hard and had fantastic skill sets matched up with one another.
Yeah,
I thought Austin Cassesi brought something unique that we didn't see a whole lot of throughout the card. He kind of had this like funky Philly shell shoulder roll thinging going on, but like quasi Sean Stricklandy from the MMA, where he didn't really give a full roll, but it was like this really weird defense offense thing that he brought. He just pressed forward the whole time. It was very tough to like adjust to. But I loved watching it. It was very unique. It was very tricky. And Brian, as talented as he is, didn't have answers to Austin that night. And I thought that was a really interesting fight.
Definitely interesting fight. Crowd pleaser as well. Crowd was into it. And always exciting when you bring your fans with you to hype up the fight. Just want to check in. Melvin just checked in. Melvin, shout out to Melvin. You missed it, Melvin. You've been announced fighter of the night. Congratulations. Put on a
well-deserved.
Great performance. Stellar performance. And, you had a great dance partner that brought the best out of you. So you also got fight of the night. So I want to just announce this as well. Patsy's Pizza. Shout out to Patsy's Pizzeria. They are sponsoring the winner of the fighter of the night. So they're going to be sponsoring Melvin. They're going to give him a donation for his training and all his gear. And we'll get that over to you very soon. Melvin, congratulations on your prize. And sorry, not your prize, on your sponsorship and your donation from Patsy's Pizzeria.
Shout out Patsy's. Shout out Melvin. Well deserved.
Yeah, thank you for Patsy's for doing that. They've been coming to all of our events. They're great supporters, and we're grateful to have you guys a part of the event and, actually stepping up and asking to sponsor the winner, the fighter of the night. So thank you very much. Appreciate you guys very much. Melvin said appreciate it. Absolutely. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Sure.
All right, let's get into it. Mark Chaparro versus Pedrolin Collado, the 156 SBC Championship vacant belt. Melvin relinquished his titles to move up. The belt was vacant to put on two of the best fighters in New York to battle for that belt, and they're from Long Island. Um, Mark Chaparro from Westbury Boxing Club, and we had Pedro from Freeport, PAL. Both strong camps, great teams. They've been around a long time, and they were both gearing up for victories on both ends. And Max, tell us how you saw it.
Once again, evenly matched. Two dudes that wanted to win and trained for it.
Rubber match too. They fought twice.
Is that right?
The third one, yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of adjectives for Mark Chaparro other than filthy. My man just went in there like a dog, and he just moved, and he was throwing, and he was on balance, and he was creative. And at the end of 3 rounds, it was pretty clear that he won. I mean, no disrespect is it Pedrian or is it Pedro?
You can say Pedro. Pedro for short. Everybody calls him Pedro.
Pedro came in there to win, and he had some moments, and he landed some shots that would have shooken up a lot of people. But Mark Chaparro was just on a different level, and you could tell. I think we've got an award for him tonight too.
Yeah, so I'll announce the award now. Most improved from the Strong Island Fight Night Series events is Mark Chaparro, most improved fighter. He went from the first 2 on. I believe he was on all of them, but the last event came up short, and he didn't look how he looked to this past event. He looked spectacular this night. He was moving combinations from inside, outside. He was just bull rushing, but with talent, with skill, with finesse. It was just beautiful. So I had to give him the most improved because it was 2 different performances from the last one to this one, and he just brought it, and I was super impressed.
That's what this is all about, man. If these guys are looking to take that next step, it's about learning from your wins, learning from your losses, and just continuing to get better. So, I mean, in my humble opinion, most improved award is the most important award on this whole show.
No doubt. No doubt. And shout out to Mark. He went to Mexico, trained. He's always training very hard. He lost his mom in the past, I think the year or 2. And, it's just fuel for his, success and his drive to be great. And, shout out to Mark. I give you a lot of credit for, dealing with what you got to deal with and persevering, shout out to Mark. So, and his team. All right. So moving to the next one, last one, but not least, the main event. Former SBC super heavyweight champion came down. He's 201 now, fighting for the SBC regular heavyweight championship versus Trichlet Marius out of Cops and Kids. We had Derek Padone for Vamos Boxing Club versus Trichlet Marius. Great matchup. Trichlet, good boxer, good team. Wavy Gravy, one of the best coaches in the country. Leaf out of Vamos, one of the best coaches out here. 2 good coaches, passion. I was watching the corners in this fight, and I was just admiring their coaching. The passion between both of them was just great, and they both came to bring it. So, Max, let them know how you saw it.
A couple of things, man. This was a lot of fun because these 2 got wild. I think that
DDT. You see that DDT by?
Oh, I saw the DDT then. Yeah.
He should have won just off that DDT. It was lights out.
Derek, first of all, major shout out to throwing a whole goddamn concert for your ring walk.
Yeah,
that was very impressive. Ring walk of the night, hands down, no question, no close second. That was awesome. You better win that fight if you're going to bring out.
He came out like a superstar.
What I could tell real early was that nobody, including Derek, expected Trichlet to be that crafty.
Yeah,
he was moving and shaking and dancing and playing defense in a way that I don't think anybody saw coming. And that first round was real challenging. You could see Derek start to get a little frustrated in his face. The spit was flying. The fists started coming out real aggressive. Yeah. Second and third round, coach talked him down. He started to control that aggression. He started to land those punches. And ultimately, I think he took 2 out of those 3 rounds. Yeah. But that was awesome. Yeah. Let's do a concert before every ring walk.
Yeah.
Fantastic fight between the big guys to close out the show.
Yeah, ring walk of the night was Derek's ring walk. So shout out to Derek for winning the ring walk of the night.
No question.
That was awesome, dude. Yep. Closed out the show. Your fans were still there. The crowd was still packed till the last fight. People were still buying tickets during the fight to come in. So we had a great night all around. He finished strong. Crowd was there. He had his last minute speech. Thanked everybody. It just everything worked out perfectly, man. It was a great night. We're wrapping it up. Just want to say one more thing. Mark Shapar almost didn't fight his fight. He texted me a week before the fight. He was sick. He almost pulled out. I gave him a day. I didn't tell him I was going to hit him back and give him another opportunity. But I said, yo, the next day I was like, bro, I'm going to find a new opponent. Are you sure you don't want to tough it out? And he's like, fuck it, I'm going to fight. So he almost didn't fight. I'm glad he did because it was a great matchup between the two. So just wanted to make sure I let that be known. Oh,
Christian,
one more time. Chichlet.
Yeah,
Chiclet's on the check-in. He said, I'm going to stop him next time.
Let's see it.
All right. So maybe there'll be a rematch. Who knows? It was a good matchup. Very good matchup.
It was. Chichlet, keep your head up, man. You look great in there. Love to see you run that back.
No doubt. Shout out to everybody, all the fighters. You guys did an amazing job. You guys all made a name for yourselves on this stage. Shout out to all you guys going to the Ringmasters. Do your thing. June 15th, we're back. Max, thanks for doing this with me tonight. Yeah. Jose's missing in action. We got to talk. Where's Jose? What's up?
Christian, the maestro, you put this all together. You gave the fighters, you gave me, you gave the coaches, you gave the whole production crew a chance to do what they do best and to shine. It was a blast, and I can't wait for June.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you again, Max. And we'll have you back June 15th. While I'm talking to you, I'm reading the comments from all the fighters right now. Say it again, Derek, in the chat now.
Sure, plenty of people disagreeing with what I'm saying.
No. He was his cheerleader. Ain't nobody's cheerleader. What are you talking about, Trichlet? Man, I'm neutral, man. I love all you guys. Come to my gym. I'll make both of you. Oh, he's talking about his boy Brian. He didn't talk about me. Hey, man, keep it cool, everybody. It's all love, man. All love.
I love it.
I'm reading the comments. You easy. I'll take you tomorrow. Oh, there's beef. There's beef in the chat room. Well,
let's go.
June 15th.
June 15th. Settle that shit in front of everybody else.
That's it, man. Thanks for checking in. Don't forget, Saturday we're releasing the fights, full production. I'm releasing a link tonight for the Dropbox. You guys can take all your pictures and share them. What else? Photo shoot for all the champions. I'll be in touch. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thank you, Max. I appreciate you. Till next time, guys. Peace. Boom. Later, Max. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Appreciate you. All right.